Hey there, how are we? It's Mr. Estrada here, and our learning target says I can write the equation of a line given a point in the slope of the line or given 2 points on the line. Let's begin with this warm-up. It says the slope of a line is 3 and it passes through the point 1, 1. Graph the point 1, 1 and use the slope to find the y-intercept. So let's begin. It says graph the point 1, 1, so let me go ahead and do that. There's the point 1, 1. I graphed it. Now it says use the slope to find the y-intercept. So the slope is equal to 3, or I can write it as 3 over 1 in fraction form. And what it's telling me to do is to plot more points that are on this line that has a slope of 3 and passes through the point 1, 1. And I can do that by using the slope. The slope says to rise 3, so I'm going to rise 3 from a point on the line. In this case it's 1, 1. So up 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go over 1 to the right because the slope is 3 over 1. But the point of this part, right, the point of using the slope is to get the y-intercept of the line. So I have to go backwards from the point 1, 1 so that I could get that y-intercept. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 over 1. And then right there you could see the y-intercept is -2. So I can go ahead now and I can connect these points. And there is my line. So it turns out that the y-intercept is -2. Alright, what could we get out of this? By plotting a point of the line and using the slope, we can find the y-intercept. This gives us all the information we need to write the equation of the line. So what would be the equation of a line that has a slope of 3 and passes through the point 1, 1? Well, it would be y equals 3x minus 2. Right? We found the slope and we found the y-intercept. Alright, now look, to write the equation of a line, the following information about the line is required. So you need to have this information to write the equation of a line. You need to have slope and you need to have the y-intercept. And that's why we were able to write the equation in the previous example. We were given the slope and then we had to find the y-intercept, which is what we did. Alright, so here is our first example. Example 1 says, what is the equation of the line that passes through the point -1, -7, and has a slope of 4 in slope-intercept form? Express the equation in simplest form. So I'm going to begin by giving you some steps here. So here, let me just give you the steps first so I can just have them here and not worry about having them fade in later. Alright, so before we begin, right, in order for you to write the equation of a line, you need slope and you need y-intercept. So far, you have slope, but you don't have the y-intercept. You have to find it. We have to find it. We got to find it together. So let's begin by writing y equals mx plus b, just to remind us of what we need, right? We need m and b to write the equation of the line. Okay, well, what we could do here to find b, we could substitute for m and x and y. The x and y comes from the coordinate that they gave you. So your x is -1 and your y is -7. So we're going to substitute that into y equals mx plus b. We're going to substitute x in here. We're going to substitute y in here. And then we're also going to substitute the slope where it says m. And we get the following. We get -7 equals 4 times -1 plus b. And the next step is to solve for b. So let's solve for b. We're going to get negative 7 equals negative 4, because 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Bring down the plus b. Let's do some algebra to solve for b. Add 4 to both sides of the equation. These 4's will cancel out here. And we will get negative 3 equals b. Alright, so here's what we got so far. So far, we got the slope is 4. And we found that the y-intercept is negative 3. The equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. So now all we have to do is substitute for m and for b, and we're done. So our final answer is y equals 4x minus 3. That's our final answer. All right, let's try example 2. In example 2, it says writing the equation of a line given 2 points on the line. So this time, we're only going to be given 2 points on the line, and we have to write the equation of the line. So let's go ahead and read the question. It says, what is an equation of the line that passes through the points 8, 2, and 4, negative 3? Put your answer in fully reduced form. All right, so give you some steps here first. Let me bring them all in, bring all the steps in, and then we'll just work our way through them. They're in here somewhere. Okay, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Sorry about these technical difficulties. I really need to get a faster processor. These take too long to fade in. Okay, I know there's one more in here. Alright, there it is. Alright, so the first step is to find the slope using the slope formula. So you recall, right, if you want to write the equation of a line, you need the slope and you need the y-intercept. So our first step here is going to be to find the slope. And we're going to use the slope formula to do that. So the slope formula says m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And here's where we get that information from. This is going to be x1 and y1. And here is x2, y2. And we're going to substitute. And when we substitute, we get the following. We get m equals negative 3 minus 2 over 4 minus 8. And from that, we get negative 5 over negative 4. So what happens here is these negatives, they cancel out. These negatives cancel out. So you're left with 5 over 4. So you just found the slope. We found it. The slope is 5 over 4. Okay, now it says write y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to go ahead and write y equals mx plus b. The reason I'm doing this is because I need to substitute for m and xy to find b, like I did in example 1. So let's go ahead and substitute. Your x and y. Well, where does the x and y come from? If you recall from the previous example, it came from the point that the line passes through. Well, now you have 2 points to pick from. You can pick either the point 8,2 or the point 4, negative 3. So I picked the point 8,2. So I substituted for x, I substituted for y, and I substituted for m. Now I have to solve for b. Let me show you how to work this thing out here. You got 5/4 times 8. You could do it on the calculator. You can also do it like this. 8 times 5 is 40, and then 40 divided by 4 is 10. So this simplifies to 10. I'll do that again just in case you missed it. So what you're doing is you're multiplying the numerators. So right over here we did multiplication. So you do 8 times 5, you get 40, and then you divide that by the denominator. So we're doing division. So you get 8 times 5 is 40, and then you just divide it. There's my division symbol. Here it is. Divided by those. You take the result of that multiplication and you divide it by this number. So 8 times 5 is 40, divided by 4, you get 10. Alright, let's solve for b. Subtract 10 on both sides. These will cancel out. And we get negative 8 is equal to b. So negative 8 equals b. So what do we know so far? So far we know the slope is 5/4. We know b is equal to negative 8. Now we could write the equation of the line. The equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. So you substitute for m and for b, and there's your final answer. Your final answer is y equals 5/4 x minus 8. Okay, we are done here. I hope this video helps. Have a great weekend. Take care.